liability.
So, you know, that's something I wanna know too, and I think
Yeah.
that'd be great for all of us. My teeter method only works on my computer.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm screwed.
Well, I would have been screwed had you not shown me that, so.
And it was literally just a thought, like, I wonder.
Okay. Oh crap, no, it's not. I was like, oh, I did it. No, you didn't. Okay, but now okay, so. Now, oh, maybe now I go down to. Okay, there it is. There it is.
Okay, click it. Okay, so do you, and it's on yours, or is it recording?
Well, this is on mine, this is what I'm seeing, but now I just have to get it to
Oh, cause you're right here.
the. So now I have, do I choose it to open? No, I'm just. Okay, it always does that thing, that's just enough.
It's just like the login.
Yeah.
Blah,
So. What would I do now? Look for.
blah. Do you wanna put that on the big screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I think it's gonna be the same, grab the open
On the white.
on the white part.
But I'm not gonna be able to control it from here, say someone.
Well, you could, in theory, you have to use this like an extra monitor.
Okay.
So then, you know,
Like get the, okay, the panelists are up, okay.
is there normally like a keyboard or do you, oh, I guess you use
I
that.
normally,
Okay.
normally that comes up on here, and I'm just like, I watch it on here too.
Cause it's an, okay, hold on, I'm not gonna
Is-
try again. Space. I'm like, where's the mouse?
I mean, at least it's good for.
Screen connect, maybe? Status, that does nothing for me. Usually a search, is there not?
Yeah, there isn't at the laptop, maybe if you go on there, would it do? Oh. Display.
No, so this is saying you have one screen and then two screen, you want it to say one and one screen, I believe.
Okay.
No.
Oh.
Duplicate these displays. Yes!
Is that what it is?
Oh, I hope so.
Or cute.
Is that cute? Okay, that one's better, okay.
Yeah. Cool. Morning.
Morning, how are you?
Well, pretty mostly good, we're having technical difficulties, but she's like, she did it. She did it. Thank you so much. Woo! Woo! Attack.
I hate technical difficulties.
I know.
Ooh, shoot, really. They happen all the time.
Greetings and salutations. Wilbur, miss you. That always reminds me of Wilbur when you say it.
Oh,
Charlotte's
yeah.
Web.
Sure.
I guess it's Charlotte that says it. Did you have a good Christmas market?
Yes, once I got the tree done.
Oh, yeah, did you have a big one in there?
The dining room tree
No, I'm tired.
kicks my
I'm busy, I'm
behind every year. And, I've been leaving the star for last. I
Yeah.
guess that's probably what you're supposed to do, but,
Yeah.
I put it up Saturday morning. I was so light by the end of Friday. I'm
Yeah.
like, I am not getting on the ladder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get the star on top. So that way, but it's up.
Yeah.
We're good.
Oh, yeah, we're on it.
Oh, the only thing, I guess we need to make an amendment for Strauss Park.
There are gonna be a couple.
Okay.
CCRD wants to be on the schedule, and then
Okay.
also, we need to talk about, the website.
After all the
Okay.
conversation, I'm
Yeah.
done. That's great to hear.
Cool.
Oh, lovely.
So if we can, yeah. Sorry. Mr. Boat, are you okay?
Yeah, I gotta click something.
Oh, will you bring me a couple of those?
Nope.
Right. Have you heard anything from, Amanda?
No.
Okay, she tried to call me, but my voicemail's will be, I'll just try to call her.
Okay. It's up, I can check. Oh, yeah, website.
Hey, Amanda, it's Kevin, I saw that you called, but I think my voicemail's full, so, if you need direct contact with me about here at town hall, just text me, since, my voicemail's full. I'll work on that. Thank you so much for the other things that would, work. Hey, girl, hey. Yeah. Oh, good, okay, all right, cool, see you here. I know. Cool, bye. Yeah, she's not reminding me myself. She just wanted to talk about the Today Show. Well, good. Right. I said, well, good. So what are you here? She's here. The other Mrs. Claus is here.
Did you dress up?
Did I?
Did you dress up in Victorian?
That's Friday.
Huh? That's right.
She doesn't, well, you do frocks. I saw you in frock recently.
No.
I thought you were walking around.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Just
No,
nothing
no.
fun.
She runs around.
Yeah.
No time for a dress.
I got your dark socks out now, you know, that's what you
I don't know what that is. Do they do tours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much self-guided tours, but we're there to, embellish, yeah. And
Do
then,
not run, you're on time, you're
Yes.
early.
No, you're good. I had to get the kids to
That's
school,
Yeah.
so.
That's right through that.
Well, I
Sorry.
realized that you had called, and then I realized that I was supposed to. And then I realized
We'll
that
talk
I was
about
thinking
it.
about
Okay.
not coming today.
No, you're good.
So I just wanted to,
Totally.
so thanks for picking it up.
Absolutely.
But I was not sure.
You are way good. I was like,
Hey, Justin, hey, Tom.
Hey,
You are fun.
Well, hope to hear.
my Wednesday morning is when we have these meetings, and so it's such a whirlwind.
I'm like, get your backpack, get your lunch, get out the door.
And they do it on purpose, because Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, they're probably angels in the morning.
Well, Friday.
Yeah.
It is when I'm like in a hurry, that especially Connor just is like, what do you want from me? No.
And then they break down even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that part right there.
Yeah. It's like, you'll get what you get, Lady Angel.
Yeah.
Don't rush it.
Time is control there.
Uh-huh. Justin, how have you been?
Somebody said my name?
Me. I said, how have you been?
Oh, great. How you doing?
Good. Hi, friends. Hi, Bob. Hi, Mike.
Good morning.
Make it sound like they're up on this huge stage. Welcome, everyone.
And Jessica Jones.
Hi, Jess.
Okay, perfect. Well, folks, it's 8 AM on Wednesday, December 6th, 2023. And when we call the Georgetown Business Promotion Commission to order, let's go ahead and start with the roll call.
Mary Smith. Here. Amanda Cooper.
Here.
Kevin Kohari.
Here.
Paul Bolt.
Here.
Justin Dowd.
Here.
The Town of Georgetown Business Promotion Commission is an appointed board that enhances the economic climate in Georgetown, Colorado through marketing, events, and community outreach. The commission's goals are to support business license holders and nonprofit organizations to operate successfully and to create a positive experience for visitors. Can we have agenda approval? I think there are a couple of amendments. One is to put CCMRD on. The other one I have is to talk about the website events management by Bullfinch. Or anything else?
That's an Strauss Park.
What's that?
Kim Station.
Oh, the Today Show.
What else?
But yes.
In
Okay.
Strauss Park. Bob Hamilton.
In Strauss Park, okay. Good.
And since we're talking about the Today Show, can we do a quick debrief of first weekend of Christmas market? So if there's anything to,
Can I see?
That's a yes.
may I suggest one other thing that we have on our radar, we may not have time, that we revisit our overall mission and where we're going and what we might want to change for next year as far as our purpose and what we may want to expand upon.
Okay. All right. So would somebody like to make a motion?
I motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, it's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, there we go, we're off and running. Audience business, members of the audience will have 5 minutes to present any matter of concern to the commission. No official action may be taken at this time. Those viewing on television may phone in comments to 303-569-2555, extension 7, or use the Zoom application. Any audience business? Do we have any, business owners that we need to welcome?
No, but we do have, there is a new business going in at
Tell me everything.
Whistle Stop. The Silver Creek Bar and Bistro, but they're not gonna be open for a few months, but they applied for a liquor license. They're gonna be a breakfast place, and they wanna have like Bloody Marys and mimosas. And then they're gonna, transition into like a high-end cocktail bar with like appetizers and stuff like that, so.
Okay.
Something coming.
Okay, very good. All right, new and unfinished business. Let's start with CCMRD. So in respect of your time. Can you tell us who you are and why you're here?
Yeah, so I am Samantha Reese Stein, and I am the Director of Special Events and Adult Programs for the CCMR. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jen Jordan, Truesdale, and I am assistant to Sam in events and programming.
So we, thank you guys for having us here today. We are here in regards to the Cabin Creek Pond Hockey Tournament that we're gonna be hosting in February. I just wanna back up a little bit before I get into that and say, when I started working at CCMOD full-time back in 2020, one of my goals was that I wanted us to expand our programming and events more into Georgetown. I felt like the rec district was very, very Idaho Springs centered, which the building is there, so that's always gonna be like our main point in our events is there. But obviously we are Clay Creek County, not just Idaho Springs, and so something we've really thought about for a long time is how we can expand into Georgetown more. And I feel like, I know we have work to do, so, but I feel really happy with where we've gone with that mission and plan. Obviously doing events like the Pond Hockey Tournament, this is really our third year doing it. We did a very small one in 21 at Orland Park. We've done like paddle and brew on the lake. Just recently, we've done the subathon up here, obviously taking over Slacker, is, you know, that gets even more into Georgetown. And just recently, Caitlin has started doing a lot more youth programming at GCS, which is going really, really well. And so we're just like stoked that we can be in the community a lot more. And it's really something we want to continue working on and having discussions on. So that all being said, I think you are all aware, I feel like I told you before, that our tax revenue that we receive in the rec district continuously declines every single year, anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000. 2016, about just over $1 million. This year, we're looking like $550,000. So we work really hard to try to see how we can increase our revenue without having to go back to the voters so that I can mill levy at some point in time. So one of the ways we do that is through our events. And so we are always looking to build those. So for the Pond Hockey Tournament to be happening next February, we're really excited. We expect to double in size. Last year we capped at 12 teams. This coming year, we are already at 14 teams, and we'll be maxing it out at 24 teams. So, you know, it's over 100 hockey players. This is not a local event, which, you know, we try to have a balance between local-based events and more regional events. And so this is a great opportunity, I feel like, for the town. It is bringing in people who might not necessarily come up here, or maybe you're not super familiar with it. So, and I just want to make clear too, it is the Cabin Creek Pond Hockey Tournament, as in that they are like the main sponsor of the event, but it is the rec district that is 100% running this. We're collecting all the revenue, the sponsorships, and paying all the bills and everything. So I just want to make sure we're clear on that. So we are looking for sponsorship on the event. Putting on any event is pretty pricey, and especially new events, we try to keep the costs down and make sure we're covering all the supplies, all the labor time, all marketing, all of that. So we are looking for $500 for sponsorships of $500 for this event, which includes the organization business having their logo on the event shirts that we'll be doing, that will be given to each hockey player. I think we have 125 players, and then also hanging banners at the event and social media recognition. So I don't know if I would like to officially offer BPC would consider being at $500 sponsorship. And if you have any questions, or if you have anything you'd like to add.
I think you get the, Perfectly.
All right, folks. Reactions, feedback.
I mean, obviously, we are always grateful for the rec district. The only thing I want to vet is our budget for next year. I want to just maybe run downstairs and see what that looks like. That would be my inclination. So I'm gonna look at Mary real quick.
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
Is that okay? I just want to see what we had
Yeah.
earmarked before we commit.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
So, yeah.
With that being said, is there any other opportunities throughout the year that we can look into while we're looking at our budget? So we have pond hockey now, are there any other events that may arise?
So
can
we
plan
will
on?
definitely be coming to you on Slacker.
We wrote, we always write Slacker.
Okay. awesome.
So
That's fine.
anything that we are aware of
Okay.
probably got written in. If we
Okay.
get something you guys have talked to us about before.
Okay.
That's why I just wanna double check and see what the wiggle room is like
We
for the new
did
events.
create, I actually sent it to you.
I saw.
We did create a sponsorship package for the entirety of 2024. I'm not sure how many events and programs are in there.
I can pull it up for you.
Okay, I don't know if the town is ever, interested in being like a youth sports partner. I don't, Maynard, you're welcome to share that with everybody. We'll always make all the help that we can take, but I feel like events are probably more.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't give the money, I just have a little bit of discomfort with it being branded events and then coming for sub sponsors. And rather than a Georgetown pond hockey event. But I mean, that's between you and your board, but giving money to something that's branded for somebody else is a challenge for me.
If we branded it as CCMRE on hockey tournament.
That's fine,
was
you're
corrected
branding a
that.
specific business and then we are going into, while we're supporting what you're doing, at the same time, now we're supporting that business's advertising. And everything else is subject, and I understand what you do. I understand, levels of sponsorship and how that works, but at the same time, it's just, it's uncomfortable for me that the event itself is branded. I was always uncomfortable with the hockey, with the ice skating rink being branded for a business as well.
Oh, when it was frozen fire.
Yeah, because this is a government agency, right?
So are we.
We don't brand, we don't
We also have to
go,
be scratched.
the Cabin Creek this, the that, this, and I am uncomfortable doing it. We're a government, the library, we do a lot of stuff over there, we never brand it for another organization. We might say our partnerships, we don't do it, the Sheep Festival, we don't brand the mountain jams, we don't brand our events for people specifically. We might do logo strip advertising, which puts people on an equal level of what they're doing, but it's still put on by the town. That's my.
Another thing just to keep in mind is, our government goes through our budget process starting in August and September. So the information that you shared now for sponsorships in other events, for BPC, to be able to include that in our budget for next year, we're approving that budget. We have at the lower levels, and we're approving our 2024 budget, within the next week or so. So to look ahead at what you just submitted, to anyone else as far as, what your expectations and anticipated events are going to be, may or may not be within our realm. So, and I know you're getting way ahead of this game, which is great, and planning. We need to know those. You almost need to come to us in August and say, this is what we're planning for the following year. And if you can help us, at those times so that we can appropriately
No,
put it in. So,
that's
yeah.
really fine. So we definitely this year, I feel very good that we're definitely a good 3 to 4 months ahead of where we were last year, but there's still, work to be.
and I know there's still pop-up things that come and, so,
Yeah.
but.
So-
Looks totally fine.
On what we have here, and I'll send this to all of you guys, but this is the sponsorship package of which Sam is speaking. It's really slick, and I think, especially for private sector sponsorships, I think it will be super successful, and again, the commitment that we've already put out there for certain events. I don't personally have an issue helping with this event, because I do think it's an enhancement to town, if we're budgeted for it. That's my only caveat, is making sure that there's buffer room in the budget. Because I think that as, you know, we have that whole blank space that exists between January and April that is so dismal and so tough. And so anything that we can do to pull in some type of positive revenue, and, you know, Jen tried it and built it with Winterfest, which was once a very breezy Winterfest and
Little bit,
well, breezy.
Just not
We'll be at Strauss Park this year,
Yeah, so,
ongoing with pond hockey.
yeah, so I think as we can build up those winter events and the winter attractions to make things year round, I think it's a good thing, so, yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Sam, what is the name of the event at this point?
It's the Cabin Creek Pond Hockey Tournament, so.
Has it always been that way, or is this, because this has been done before, correct?
Yeah, so
Okay,
that was,
so people would recognize the name.
yep, so even when we did the small one, over at Lowen Hawk, we've done the same, so.
It was called Winterfest, wasn't it?
No, it's the.
Yeah, it was Winterfest, when we
Oh.
had the Cabin Creek Pond Hockey.
In both of those instances, they were conjoined, I mean, they were in conjunction with one another in both of those events, Winterfest and Hockey Tournament.
Sorry, I misspoke, Paul, I thought they were separate events. I thought that part was different.
Yeah.
Kind of, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
They were in conjunction, but they were separate events, those 2 years that were run separately, but they were marketed
She said
together.
she's coming out.
Okay,
She was on the phone.
okay. Do you wanna put a pin in this and let Bob talk really quick while we wait for Mary?
Sure. Mr. Hamilton, how are you today?
I am just fine. Yeah,
Good.
I will make it quick. This is just kind of a year-end summary of where we are with Scouts Park, kind of like where we are is what you see. We don't anticipate doing anything more this year. Over the next couple of months, I'll be refining the scope for the details for what we're gonna do to finish the thing up. We have the funding for it, we got the grant, the money is available, so we can go ahead and start that. I don't expect work will start until springtime sometime. There's a list on the second page of all the work plan, which everyone probably pretty much knows about. The big thing is to finish up the hardscape, the material from Lions, the flagstone, and the boulders, which I finally got an inventory from them. It's all made, it's sitting up in their yard. It's only 37 pallets, roughly 110,000 pounds of material. It's a lot of stuff. One of the questions I had, do we want it, do we get it shipped down here? After getting the inventory, realizing 37 pallets is it's basically a football field full of stuff. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I think I'm gonna ask them to hold it for us. I would like to get them paid, and I'll work that out with Mary. Maybe get them paid in January for that, so we'll be good to go. The electrical work, I'm already working with the electrical contractor. I've gone over the drawing submittals for all the lighting, the light fixtures and all that, and so he should be getting that on order. And then he can really start doing the electrical work when the material comes in. That's not really terribly weather dependent. The other thing is remaining concrete work, the sidewalk, curbs, that type of stuff. The last section is things that we maybe want to talk about. Are there any additional electrical services desired? And these are things, I'll come back with what I hear from different organizations and people, and we'll make a final presentation probably in January or February and nail all that stuff down. What do we want to do with the material that we salvaged from the park? Right now, we have some wood and flagstone stockpile up at the Centennial Mill. I know we've already given some of the flagstone over to the school for the sidewalk on Rose Street, so that's nearby, and you're free to go with that whenever you want. Toward the springtime, when you talk about what do we actually want to put in for plantings and that type of stuff, so kind of the finishing phase of the project. No reason why it won't occur in 2024. Hopefully, possibly by the 4th of July. That would be my goal, is that we'd be ready to go with things pretty much done by that point. again, depending on weather dependent, and we have contractors lined up, and we'll just kind of revisit pricing with them, in the new year. That's kind of where we stand. Really, I'm interested in getting any feedback from these 2 weekends of Christmas market that we can roll in as well. So.
They love the gravel.
What's that?
They love the gravel.
I like it. I mean, if we were doing things over again, I would have voted for gravel, but we have the flagstone, it was already, so it'll go in. I mean, and you look at the sidewalk, I think the sidewalk that we replaced on Rose Street came out great. And I would expect that the same thing will carry out throughout the entire.
Is the plan to put that little fence back up?
The original plan calls for the fence to go up on Fifth Street. That's one of the things I would like to talk about, because I think there are some places where that fence could go in and around the park, which would make more sense. So
Because the openness is much more inviting, I think, for all of the events that we've had. I mean, regardless of Christmas market, Christmas. But I mean, big climbing, it just allows the flow as opposed to people channeling into, that.
yeah, and that was the
Or
intent.
stepping over it, kind of thing, so.
My thoughts were, the grasses around the Christmas tree on the sidewalk. We put a couple sections on each side there to kind of keep them out, keep people from walking into that area, not that they would anyway. Another possibility would be to, well, those, and I would go on the outside of the tree as well, the park side of the tree. So that would chew up a lot of the fence. But I mean, that's something we could talk about, and that's kind of where my head is on it. I like the openness as well.
Can you, what's gonna be the total spend on this project by the time we're done? Within $50,000.
Probably close to $1 million. No, I take that back, probably more like 750,000, somewhere around there. That's from
Thank you.
last year, this year, the year before, next year.
The library stage wasn't as expensive, it was like $270,000 15 years ago.
So what was that?
The library stage wasn't as extensive, but it was the Brennan's been in for like 250,000, so 750,000 of that now, and it was like 15 years ago or so. But a lot of it's grants, right? A lot of it is grant funded, right?
Less than half, well, less than half. We got a grant for the restroom, and we have a grant for next year.
And then paving, right?
Yeah, basically the paving. I'm not sure what the restroom grant was, I think it might have been around 100. And then we have a 250 grant, and the rest of it has been town funded.
So a little less than that.
Yeah.
Very good, let me answer your question for you. Just a minute. Mr. Hamilton, I have two things. Under project items for consideration, decision, number 7, clean and repoint Stonefield monument. The monument belongs to the state of Colorado, and so I would recommend that they are involved in any intervention, whether it's
That's a good
repair or cleaning.
Yeah.
Which needs both.
Maybe even get them to fund it.
Exactly, you're reading my mind. It is theirs, and it does need some attention. It's missing a medallion in the piece of ore from the top that it celebrates, the ore's not even there. And it needs some cleaning and repointing, but I would let the state do that for you. And number 9, signage. Back when preliminary drawings were being developed, I was outspoken about the opportunity to interpret Jewish history at the park, since the Strauss family were Jewish merchants here in town, and we have very little to point out Jewish contributions in our community. This is one of few, and maybe just the only one. And so, I would like to be involved if it would help in developing that signage, interpretive signage, for Jewish history.
In the passage area, there is, some budget, and there's a plan to put storyboards basically in there.
That's what I'm talking about, good.
So that, I mean, that's kind of a separate project, but, that, we're really at the point now where we should start moving forward
Sure.
with that. So
I'm afraid that it will be value engineered out of the project.
I've got that noted here,
Okay.
Jewish history, so that.
Okay.
Should be in there.
Cool, that's all I got.
I thought it looked really great this weekend, so.
The usability has improved.
Yeah, the ingress and egress are great, even though, you know, I'm not a big fan of like fences, but the ingress and egress are great. It is, even though the stone's gonna look great, it's less slippery when you're on the gravel. But, it's really beautiful, and it's worked out twice really well in the last few months, and, thank you for the work.
Yeah, much better.
And thank you for the flagstone for the kids.
Yeah, and I would like to.
We got, there's gonna be a fair amount of flagstone. I mean, with the piles that are over there and the stuff that's up there, there's a lot of flagstone floating around town that we probably, someplace down the road, ought to look at, what do we do with it?
Totally.
Like, could
Can we-
replace some sidewalks?
Can we fix some sidewalks?
Put some in.
They're right.
The sidewalk on Rose, like proverbially and literally ended, so it was forcing the kids into the street
Yeah.
as they were coming down from school, and so town was great, they ripped out the bushes, we got
Yeah.
flagstone, so now the kids, they still don't use it, because they're not used to it, but
Once the sidewalks.
The intent is, yes.
exactly.
I'd love to put the visitor center, but honestly, broken pieces are great for what I want to do there. So it doesn't need to be repaid or taken down to cost, but I'll write you later.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Hamilton?
That's it for me.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. Ladies, CCMRDs, thank you for being patient, we're back to you. And we have our very valued treasurer in the room now. Let's continue our discussion about sponsorship. So folks, where were we?
Or donations, we're gonna see if it's in the budget.
Okay. I do agree with Paul about the name of the event. I do have trouble with that as well. I would feel much more comfortable if it were just CCMRD's event and then with the sponsors. And it's okay for me, I think, to have, different levels of sponsors. But, having, the name Cabin Creek right at the beginning just ties it to one business. And so I don't feel comfortable with that.
May I ask the question, are we talking about a donation for 2024?
Correct.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I still stand by what I said though, and I think that it's important that we support the event because it's good for town.
I'm not opposed to the event at all. I just think that, and it might be for future or whatever, it's something to consider, I just think that, because you've already granted it. I just think for future or what we're doing, if when we're looking what we're doing, what we should consider is like at what level are we put in there, and it's only 500 for us, but. And at what level, if it's branded outside, we need to consider that as a body, but the event is very important to us, and I'm pro money, but I'm not. At all anti the money, I think we need to do it, but it's just that, I just want to raise that level of that for the future.
That's fine, and I appreciate that feedback on that, and something to think about.
Listen, it's your internal board, it's all.
Just because we have a big agenda today, looking at the budget, we have, so for CCMRD events for next year, right now, and it's budgeted, this is not approved. Like, I want to be clear. And Mary, if I step out of line, put me back in. We have 2,000 branded for Winter Fest, which is not CCMRD, and 2,000 earmarked for Slacker. We could,
And we have TBD $4,000.
and we have a TBD $4,000 line. We could possibly, like, just say caveat, if the budget doesn't pan out, that we detract 1,500 from Slacker, or I mean, excuse me, 500 from Slacker, making it 1,500. We could detract from, or take money from Winterfest,
That's fair.
Or we, because the TBD is in my opinion, not.
And Winterfest won't be a big haul. Most of our marketing hasn't been paid. Most of our vendors haven't even been fully selected or done it yet.
So
But
those
that's fair.
That's where I see the monies. So what that, would end up looking like, I mean, what do you think about what I just said?
Yeah, Jen,
Or Mary?
raise your hand.
Oh, sorry.
I did, but it's not. Is Winterfest still gonna be the same day as the Fun Luncheon?
Yes, but at Strauss Park.
Just kidding.
Yep.
That's just, okay, sorry.
So that's combined.
Can I bring this back though to our own mission statement that we
Yes.
worked on for months and months and months? And basically the last sentence in it, and I realize this is subject to interpretation, where it says the commission's goals are to support business license holders and nonprofit organizations to operate successfully and to create a positive experience for visitors.
This would support that, this event would support that. And that's why the mission statement is so important. We need to map all of our actions, which would be decisions, votes, all of that, to this mission. And I say this, yeah, it fulfills it.
So is that, I mean, what I proposed fair?
Yes, but I do want to point out that promotions is getting a loan from workforce housing that's not to be spent, that it'll go back to workforce housing. It's just a accounting
It's
internal.
a 0% interest rate. That's-
Yes.
What do you mean it's not to be spent?
It's not to be spent by promotions. It's only to make the budget whole for the state auditor.
So
Is that-
we should deduct $20,000 in revenue from what you just provided us.
I think it's
'Cause it's not real.
15, actually.
Is that for 23 or 24?
It's for 24.
Okay.
So, and then the
That's a
only
whole
other
nother
thing,
conversation.
Yeah, that's not.
What?
Again, let's not get into that at this moment. Let's deal with CCMRD.
I think the point is that if we can, because the budget is not solidified yet, we have, if we said 500, I mean, this is $500, we find another event that we slide 500 off of for now, and then we need to have a bigger
well,
conversation.
and you do have the to be determined amount as well in there for 2020.
Do we though? Doesn't sound like we do.
Well, no, yes, you still had money, you still had a fund balance at the end, just not large enough. Okay, and then the other thing, and then I'm gonna go back down. You were going to spend half of the 16,000 for the signage in 2023. I've got one, check run left
Okay,
for 2023, so FYI.
okay, we're gonna talk about it.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to speak briefly, and I don't intend to vote on this, and I wouldn't speak to it, except that we really, I mean, there is some financial benefit to Cabin Creek, obviously. However, our expenses are also extraordinary. It's named what it is because our contribution financially is substantial. How much are you gonna raise through, team, signups alone on this for the rec district?
The.
2014 times 350.
Yeah, so we expect to get around $7,000.
Right, so this is a substantial fundraiser, and I think that's Sam's point, is they're trying not to necessarily, impact the fundraising capability of this for the rec district through, again, sponsorships from various people, and I think we pulled sponsorships in from, I think we have 3 private vendor sponsorships at this point, and they're probably on track to get another 3 significant, to help defer costs for the staffing that will take place for the rec district and all of that. So there's a lot of effort on the part of CCMRD to maximize the benefit of the signups from the teams and cover their costs in multiple ways, including contributions from Cabin Creek. So it should be looked at in that light. kind of, if you call it like a platinum sponsorship, we're obviously, a significant sponsor of this, hence the nomenclature, which also allows us to push it through all of our advertising channels as well. So I think that's the nature of the nomenclature behind the event, and why it's branded the way it is.
So
The beneficiary is, the true beneficiary is the rec district, to the tune of, I think at the end of the day, hopefully about $8,000.
Can you share what your other sponsors are so far?
So we are working with, we've reached out to Loveland, Echo,
Icelandic.
Atlantic, Nervous Summer, and they've not all confirmed yet, so.
And who has confirmed at this point?
I'm not sure. Yeah, Atlantic or,
I believe it's Atlantic and Escape.
Yeah, there's a skate, company. I don't think they're all nailed down yet, but my guess is they'll be close to 8 or 9 private sponsors to the event. To the tune of about, anywhere from $500 to $1,000.
Bottom line, this money is going into CCMRD's fundraising for programs. It's not going into Cabin Creeks or Icelandics or anyone else's bottom line pocket.
I'm not worried about any of it, I'm the one that brought up the point. I understand, but you were late, you're just legit.
No, it's legit.
So I understand your point, I understand what people, is a business, what you want to get in advertising back from what you're doing, I just have trouble with brand stance. And I think that, I like those lines, I'm not on that notion though. It's fine, it's named, and I move that we allocate $500 to CCMRD for the Cabin Creek Pond Hockey Tournament.
Second.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Jen, I'll say.
Okay.
All right,
We're done.
Thanks with that part.
Thank you both for all the work that you've done and thank you for increasing your presence in the town, and for all the work that you do for the county. It really is, it is visible and it's appreciated.
Thank you.
Sorry to make you throw that.
have a great day, guys. Because I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to marketing and events coordinator, Jessica Jones.
Howdy, everybody. So some of the things that we brought up that we want to talk about are already on my agenda, like the Merriest Main Street, which is it's a segment on the Today Show. They highlight towns starting in December, so it's very few are selected each year. And we get to do it not only before our Christmas market, but before our Hops and Holly. We have the most decorated town, so I am personally really excited for this. Number 9, they're the affiliate of the Today Show, will be out here at 3:15 in the morning. I will meet them. We're gonna be asking people to show up dressed up festively, bring posters, We Heart Georgetown, Colorado, make sure that's on there too. But so far we've had posters go up, we've had social postings, word of mouth, and a leaflet blast. I do have a spreadsheet that's slowly growing to keep track of people who are coming, but the goal is to have 30 to 40 people. From what it sounds like, we could get more, and I'm really excited for that. To make it a little bit more enticing for our constituents who don't want to get up that early, we're gonna have some hot beverages at Strauss Park, we're gonna turn on the heaters, but that way, in the fire pit, so it's a little bit more done up.
The horse will be here. Okay,
Here.
sorry. Didn't mean to steal your thunder.
On top of,
Really, the horse will be here?
yeah, so on top of our residents being involved, we're asking Christmas Market to come back and be involved as well. So the horses and their strong carriage will be here and they will be around. But for me, my biggest ask was to highlight Christmas Alley. And we'll get to the feedback on that in a moment. But, since it is new, we want all eyes on it. We want our vendors to feel supported. So they are coming back. They're gonna decorate that space. We're gonna get some nice B-roll of Christmas Alley, the town train, we're working with Cabin Creek, Tom and other, Dustin, he's got some great B-roll, but when Denver Nine's here, they're also gonna get some stuff as well, so
That day,
that day.
okay.
We are asking, that the town be fully lit up, that's my portion, but we're going around to the businesses and asking if they can decorate their storefronts just a little bit more. We really wanna look like Christmas, Hallmark, Georgetown.
I talked to all the businesses that I was supposed to handle.
Wonderful.
So, it was suggested to me by a local that maybe we host a sign making event at the community center.
Oh,
If the community center would be up for
It'd be
that
like
maybe.
tomorrow,
It would not be
yeah.
tomorrow, but like if we could host like a sign making, because I don't, the Today Show culture is a sign.
I want a fat head of
I love the
someone out
Today Show,
there.
I'm sorry, I love the
And
Today
it was
Show.
hashtag I love Modo.
I love it. I watch it every day. I can't even handle this. I have been giddy for 2 days.
Well, it was nice to, so we started doing conversations last week and we were hoping to be the first, but it was just such a tight crunch, so I'm glad we're able to get it done, especially before Christmas market is fully over. So texting Amanda and hearing her feedback just made me feel a lot better.
I freaked out, you guys. I freaked.
If the community center is available, we can use this tool.
Oh, there you
Yeah, I think it might be
Wonderful.
set up for the writers. I'm gonna text Diane right now, but otherwise.
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
the-
yeah.
I think you
We
should
can
just,
host it at my house if we need to.
Paul's got space.
Yeah.
Well, unless we have well, no, I can, yeah, I
We're
space no matter
doing
what.
this.
We can do it downstairs, we can be upstairs, we can do it, whatever.
Let's just do the old
Old
school.
school.
Yeah.
I have to go to Denver after this, so if you want me to pick up a bunch of poster board and poster paints and stuff, I will do that. Like, I have to go down there anyway.
Okay, do we have that in our budget? I don't want you to personally put your money into that.
It won't be very much, we'll figure it out.
Okay, do you need a tax exempt card or anything?
Yeah, doing the tax exempt card, that'd be great.
I heard through the grapevine that there may be a celebrity there.
Me?
And then everything.
Oh, yes, Parker is definitely coming, he's already committed, he does have, a previously already something committed to, but that's not until later, so he's more than welcome to show up and be there.
We'll have the Santa Lucia kids too.
Santa
Oh, good.
Lucia is also gonna come around, John really excited
Yeah, that
for
would be
it.
great.
Will be there. Saint Nicholas will be there. Saint Nicholas will be
St.
there.
Nicholas will be there as well. It will be myself and Peter Whirlin. We are gonna be the spokespeople for the town, so hopefully my accent can be Colorado and not nervous.
We'll train.
Will train me. Some of my talking points that I've already said to them was about our Christmas market, our rich history, started in 1960, period. Our traditions have stayed true to the European open market, the Santa Lucia, which they are gonna be there, along with many others. I mentioned we have the same vendors with some new ones, which now we have Christmas Alley. Other things we talked about, booming during the gold rush, the railroad and that significance. Talked a little bit about a fire mitigation program and then winter activities around town, whether it's ice fishing, snowshoeing, or just, stopping in before or after your skiing sessions. That
Jeep
way.
races,
Huh?
hockey, Jeep races.
This is it.
The Jeep races.
Jeep
Jeep
races.
races, oh, that's huge.
That's, yes,
Wait, is
and,
that the driving on the lake?
That's starting.
Yeah,
That's
the
a
ice,
big-
yeah,
Yeah.
the Jeep ice racing.
ice fishing,
Yeah.
pond hockey, make for a great pastime at Georgetown Lake, along with certain park clubs allowed to drive on the lake permit needed. But smaller ice rink is built for in town for people to enjoy. So I tried, but
Good
And
job.
we have a really great workspace.
don't worry, I'm gonna bring mine and we're gonna be on camera.
Base all your logos forward.
Yes. Provide me with your branding.
Jess, how did we get this? Did you coordinate this?
So I've been emailing like every
Nice.
single affiliate program,
Congratulations,
Denver News. This, I don't know if it's fully from my effort, but either way, Matt has
It
been
is, yes.
really great. So not only are we getting national recognition for Georgetown, but me and Matt were talking, they're gonna come back and do a local segment on Hops and Holly.
Great.
So, we're still gonna have that spotlight on Georgetown, our businesses, and I'm really excited.
Congratulations.
Fill that in.
Thank you for doing that.
Big one.
Yay.
Good lift.
Yes.
God, what are you gonna do next year?
Yes, I know.
I know.
Yeah.
First year, and you have like knocked it out of.
We're gonna have a
We're
farmer's
gonna have
alley
international
every weekend.
For my next tax.
But we need to
The
call.
royal family, sorry.
We need to talk to all of our neighbors and make sure that they have their lights on overnight,
Yes.
so that they don't go off and it's not dark, because I don't know if that was mentioned.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to my neighbor across the street, because they'll get a wreath up or something, and then finish it, and then also we need to do snow dances.
We've asked all the Sixth Street merchants and operators of
But the
specific
houses, right? I mean,
organizations.
if they go down the right streets, those houses are a big deal for people, so.
Like Moore's houses.
The Moore's is a really good one.
Should actually have a poster.
Yeah, on Rose Street or
Rose.
everywhere else, because that B-roll, you can choose to cut the B-roll, and some of the houses around town are so charming, and it looks like Rockwellville, right? So, or else you can like be from big city and come up here and.
We have the
rent a
various
bunch of
main
traffic.
streets. We don't have just one main street. We have the various main
Chester,
streets.
and Peter able to get together before and like go through your,
I haven't contacted him, but yeah, I'm totally able
do
to.
you have his contact? I'll send it to you.
So what time are we doing the poster thing at the old school?
If it's okay, do you think it would be appropriate to do like an all-day kind of affair? That way when people have time, they can stop in? Or do you want it to be like a time segmented?
No, fine.
Okay, so like if, I would come in and check on it repeatedly throughout the day, but like, let's say, some people have time in the morning, the kids get out of school and they come later. I just wanna make sure it's open and accessible, but I don't wanna take up your space.
It's fine. I don't think that we booked the northeast classroom, so I think that we could use that as a performance hall, and, because that might be booked for the libraries.
So what's our end time then? Let's put an end time.
Oh, well, we have a hard close at 10 PM, but I don't.
So do we wanna say like 10
Six.
AM to 6:30, because wreath making is also going on at 5:30.
10 to 6.
Yeah.
10 to 6, okay.
Bring your friends.
Yeah,
No, I
Bring
need-
everything.
I need a few more reasons.
Yeah, and if you can't come that the morning of, make a sign for your friend to have,
Yeah,
anything.
and I can always pick up the materials, because I'll be there for wreath making just to say hello, but
I'll get the materials too when I get back later today.
and I could put something online that says, if you missed this opportunity, contact my email and I'll get it to you. I mean, by a certain point, I don't wanna go to people at 11 when I have to be up at 2 the next day, but I wanna make sure it's accessible.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jess, there was on Facebook, there was a post, I'm assuming it was a drone
The town.
shot that showed Georgetown at night while covered with snow and lit up. And it is the, I mean, it like it had been last week. Did that come from you?
Nope.
But it's magical.
Most of my drone people tell me it's too windy when I try to get them up.
This shot, I'll see if I can find it and send it to you.
It's on Facebook.
It showed up on Facebook, I forwarded to some, friends and relatives back east.
Yeah,
And, I mean, it is an absolutely incredible shot of downtown. It shows the current park with the fire pit going,
Wow.
a few people walking around, but, I mean, it's the image that,
We want to
Yeah.
we think of as, nostalgic and.
Yeah.
Wait, was it on the Visit Georgetown Facebook site? Is that it?
No,
I
because she
don't-
was at Georgia.
I don't know. It
We'll
showed up.
find
Because
it.
you might be able to get permission, we can use it on our side, right?
Oh, absolutely.
By the way, the
We're
lights,
working on it.
I just want to say in the meeting, and it might not be the right time, but the lights look the best they've ever looked, and the increase in lights is really impressive. It really does make the town exquisite.
I second.
Along
Yes.
those lines, thank you, Road and Bridge.
Yeah.
For that.
And parks.
The roundabout.
Yep.
Very good.
Awesome.
Okay, anything else for us,
Conversation.
Ms. Jones?
Yeah, so I have officially been accepted to the Clear Creek County Tourism Board. My first meeting will either be the 12th or the 19th. We're just rounding up on which will be best for us, so I'll miss staff meeting, but I'll be around. I've officially met with my mentor for the Colorado Tourism Leadership Journey. Deborah Brennan is a complete powerhouse. She owns her small agency business, but she plans the tourism conference and does have her hand in the cookie jar in here, but she is a delight. She's loved all of my ideas so far and honestly has helped brainstorm more ideas for my project. So whether I just have one project that may or may not be complete, I'll have a lot of things going on and I'll have that support.
Have you shared with your group there this opportunity that we, okay.
Oh, I WhatsApp
Because it
them.
needs to be, yeah. No, it needs to be
Okay,
blasted out to
people.
everybody. I mean, it's kudos to you, but who knows, someone might be like, shit, I wanna get on the Today Show, I'll be in the crowd, you know. so.
Absolutely.
One, going to the tourism, becoming a tourism leader and becoming in there really makes a huge difference. Cass's journey made a huge difference for us. Your journey is already, you can see that because people take you seriously when you want to get on things like the Today Show and News 9 and things like that. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, and that does remind me, I have looped, the tourism board, Cass, Loveland, and other entities involved in the Today Show effort. And I do want to thank Jen for helping me blast those out to different commissions, the residents, and everybody else. It really is a group effort, all hands on deck. Next month, I'm going to Colorado Springs to meet with our group. We've already just, had assessments on what kind of leadership styles we have, how to be a good leader, and now we're shifting into a full tourism effort, so that'll be exciting. A new effort for our county is I've connected with Lisa Kelly, I believe.
She's super sweet.
She is really amazing, but her and I have been talking about an intern for my role. It would be a social media manager. They would not have access to anything, but that way they can get an understanding of the analytics, what goes into content creation, how do you find trending audio. It's not gonna be, I'm the influencer and this is what I see every day when I scroll. It's gonna be, this is what I do for a living and this is how I can make it my job. So I really wanna talk to them about if they wanna go to college, if this is how they do it, and I try to make it as accessible as possible. We've talked about a couple different ways is if they come to Georgetown, they get the content, they create the reel, but if they don't have access to a vehicle, I can get the content, give it to them, and we can talk through it. It's gonna be a really fun opportunity to plan, execute, report, and then pivot if we need to. So I'm excited, but I would welcome all feedback. Thank you, Bob, for that. I got your message. But that's just kind of where we're going. I believe this week, we're gonna be trying to have interviews with my potential interns, and then we'll go off personality, their drive. They even have certain things in place, like their own version of a PIP. So if we're having somebody in place and they're not performing to our level, we can just have those conversations and make sure they rise to the occasion.
How do you use that context to embellish our crowd for Friday morning?
I'm trying.
Well, I mean, we need to, use every avenue.
Absolutely, and what's great is they're not in school on Friday.
Yeah.
So,
Somebody get on.
Yeah. Fridays in college.
going into our social media updates, Instagram has been crazy. But not as crazy as Facebook. Our accounts reach has increased significantly. We're close to about 13,000. That's a 56.4% increase. And our non-followers is the one that's really increasing. We've, of that 854 were non-followers, that's 82% of them. So instead of just reaching our audience that we already have, which are most people in Georgetown, we're kind of shifting around. So you can see our top cities is Georgetown, but then you have Silver Plume, Denver, and Lakewood, and those are the closest to us. And I think the use of influencers, even though we haven't fully used them in a paid context, but using their free reels and getting them on our stories and getting attached to their audience has really helped a lot. Our engagement has also been increasing. We're up 75.3%. Our age range is 25 to 34, which I think is kind of impressive for me. We did start a little bit heavier in the 45 to 35 range, but now we're really attracting the younger people who want to be historic, who want to be outside, who want to get outside of Denver, but don't really know what to do. And knowing those analytics are important because knowing your target audience is one thing, but you have so many target audiences, you want to kind of capture them all. You don't cater to one, you cater to the mass. So looking.
May I ask?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty diligent about asking my customers, where they're from.
Yeah.
And if they're from the Denver metro area, it tends to be Lakewood and Aurora. So if you could do advertising dollars to those two parts of town, it's very, very consistent. It's been years long.
Okay.
This is those two. This is the big markets there.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's it.
Our Facebook has definitely been increasing. those analytics are gonna be a little bit different. So our Facebook reach is about 5,617. If you looked at our most recent post, though, it will be for our December analytics. We did our push for Christmas market saying, yes, it snowed a little bit, but please come on down. It has close to 20,000 impressions, almost 1,000 comments, which I have stopped answering those, and a bunch of shares. So there's a lot of eyes on our Christmas market, which hopefully will bring them back. Be like, I came here in the summer, I came in the winter, now I wanna come in the fall, I'm gonna come in the spring. Because we're just lovely all year round. Our Facebook page likes have been increasing, they're even more overwhelming right now. And then you'll see our top cities are Denver, Colorado Springs, Georgetown, and Arvada. So,
Okay.
you know, we're definitely seeing the front range in there, but I'm gonna try to see what we can do to get to Summit, to get to Eagle. We have the other side of the tunnel, and sometimes we kind of don't forget them, but they're not as forth in our presence, so I wanna make sure that's my new thing for 2024. Event planning, we had our first weekend of Christmas market. We had a lot of wins. Town staff was around and receptive to feedback, whether it was sweeping one day and putting gravel down the next day, whether it was making sure the lights were around, you know. I really appreciated it, that also being a full hands-on deck. The tent was full of people, it drew a huge crowd, and it was constantly hearing the buzz around town that kind of like warmed my heart. And then the best part for us is Strauss Park and some even Georgetown business that had record-breaking sales. Some opportunities, the weather. We can't all fight the weather, but that did have some challenges. We'll make sure that our sidewalks are being taken care of throughout the day, along with keeping an eye on our parking. Our street closures were in place. We might need to put up some more parking on one side signs, but those were just, those are your usual opportunities. Mary, any feedback from your team?
This Town Street closure was great. I mean, we all know that, and, you know, we've been hoping for that for the last couple of years, and the fact that there was no, you know, barrier there and people could see it all the way down, was good. You know, last year was our first year in the tent, and a lot of people missed that. I think they finally found the tent this year, and then they don't look across the street to where we have Christmas Alley, so we're putting some more attention with signage and, you know, some sparkly stuff and decorating the windows to get some more attention there. So if we can do anything on our 5 minutes of glory on the Today Show, you know, and it's just gonna draw it down, you know, I realize we need to focus, there's so many different aspects that we can focus on.
Can I say something about the
Yeah,
house closure?
absolutely.
If there's any way, I know it's so hard with the wind, to show more where the parking, like that parking is, like, you guys, I know the sign blew down.
Yeah, they
But-
blew away, no, they didn't just blow down.
No, they left.
Yeah.
There was, a lot of confusion on Third and Second with people parking. Legitimately, people parked vertically next to the barriers in the middle of the road.
Oh, wow.
I called about 2 cars, cause like, you wouldn't have been able to get a fire truck through. Like, I have no idea on what planet, at the top of Third and Taos, a car parked, barriers here, car parked right here. They now have no parking signs up,
I think so,
but
So crazy.
like, you wouldn't have been able to pull a fire truck through. I don't know how it was over on Second with parking, but when I drove to work, there wasn't, yeah, so. I mean, it's not a problem for people to be parking up here, but I think people might enjoy the experience more if they're parked in the back parking and using the shuttle.
you've changed a little bit of the configuration, the town has changed a little bit of the configuration of,
Yeah.
what was not,
Fifth Street, we had blocked off completely. We're gonna open that up so that it's easier to access. Well, not completely. We're gonna put one, barricade up to encourage more vendors having easier access to the back parking lot behind, the hotel here. So that's gonna change. And then we're gonna take the barricade off at the top of Taos where we had that blocked.
Oh, okay.
So that will be removed. So at least people, you know, it's easier to get in and out, but we still want, you know, trying to discourage people from going in if they don't have to, but if they can get back to the parking lot,
Going in where?
to the back parking lot.
See, why are we discouraging that? That was a half full parking lot.
it's being changed,
Yeah, we changed, we're opening it up.
yeah.
Didn't make any
Your
sense to me at
feedback
all.
was heard.
I also saw, a vehicle drive all the way through Christmas market midday Sunday. Like,
They
it just,
did.
it just
Oh my
drove all the way through the market, so I have no idea
Oh
how,
my.
where
So-
they got around.
Well, they just moved there.
There was,
And
it
they
was
know
a,
which way they went.
it was a lady in a rental car, it had red plates.
My GPS says go here.
She legitimately, like, it was during Santa Lucia, like, we were all standing there, and she drove down Sixth. It was,
Okay.
so, just as another piece, I thought that was pretty impressive, I was like, that's like,
We have to keep an eye on the barricades over here.
So
That's-
Saturday,
yeah.
they were on this side of the street. Come Sunday, they were over here and it wasn't even set up the same, so we kept seeing people come around onto Six and we're like, you can't come here, like, we're just turning around, I'm like, turn around somewhere else.
Plus, I'm telling you,
Paintball is there too. We need to
That's
figure out.
some of our vendors closed down a little early, and this was Sunday, I noticed this more than Saturday, because Saturday was wild. But then when they closed down, and this was in the tent, and they feel that they can, pull it
Yes.
and load up. And so my instructions to them for this weekend is, if you're closing down early, that's fine and dandy, but you are not coming on Sixth Street until after 5 o'clock, kind of thing. So,
It displays to the people visiting.
well,
that we're
it did, and
closing
then,
down, too.
it's like, oh, well, can't I just turn here? No. So, so those instructions will go out. So any like little tidbits of stuff like that you want me to share with any of the people, and not just necessarily the vendors, but, whatever, for this next weekend, there's not much time to execute much more at this point, but, if there's any feedback that we should be aware of so that we can, tag team it now. If for parking or no parking areas, we'll get another sign up at the roundabout. It's gonna be a makeshift sign at this point, I can tell you. But if there's any other areas that need kind of a better parking instructions, I'm going to ask the town if we've got a few signs to better designate that, so.
We offered a lot of like people who were in the restaurant, like the feedback on where to go to park, we were directing everybody down to that parking.
Mhm.
And then,
Saturday, the shuttles were busy. I
The
talked to the
shuttles were
two
busy,
drivers,
yeah.
yeah. And so they were pumping people, through, and it was working great. Sunday, when the sign ended up in Arvada or Aurora, maybe, but then, on the other hand, people could certainly park close enough because it wasn't that busy, so.
Sending people to event parking at the visitor center, we're also trying to encourage people to park lower or, more northerly in the town and then catch the shuttle.
yeah,
And you should know that, and I can send the QR code, I never gave it to everybody for my interactive map. And I've added all of the Christmas market to it, and then if you click on the Christmas trees for any place, for anything with shuttle stops, shuttle parking, the shuttle route, it has all of the event stations in it. My map actually has, you can choose find where all the restrooms in town are, all that kind of stuff. I don't have your restroom, I don't have the temporary ones on there. But it also takes it to your website, so you get the brochure, so you can find out what's going on. I'll send you the QR code.
Send it so it gets on the visitor.
Yeah, and I just
site.
haven't printed on I was printing window stickers, but I just didn't.
it was a good market though, Sunday was out of control, but
Sunday for the weather that we had, it could have been so much worse, so, anyway, thank you all, that's all.
Yes, anything.
there were some people that braved it on Sunday.
Yeah.
There was a decent bit of people who
Yeah,
braved it on
it
Sunday.
was
I saw tons of kids coming through that snow from like city.
Even in the in the school they did a killer thing with their little ornament, so it was positive.
Oh, the
Sunday.
ornament hustlers?
Yeah.
Our sweatshop children, that's what they did for a
Listen.
week and a half, was make ornaments. That's what they did in our class every day, was just make Christmas ornaments. They're like, my hands hurt, we're like, that's too damn bad, keep working. So, yeah.
You should close down sales values.
And then they were out hustling.
They were.
Please, sir, will you buy an ornament for my school?
That really
Very
did
Charles
help.
Dickens, very
It
Charles
really did
Dickens.
help.
It was, yeah.
That rocks.
See, I could loan them my fingerless gloves. and
That's
go,
right.
It was pretty funny. There was a couple of kids that really got into it, like, help me, I'm poor. I mean, we're school, we're poor.
I love
A
it.
little natural, let's do it.
That's what I just said.
Well,
Yeah.
and one of CCMRD's programs on Monday is the art classes, right? Are they using that opportunity to help push that, or was this fully the school that did the art?
It was, I am
Okay.
not, it was a school, yeah, I'm not sure,
I was
but
curious.
honestly, the ornaments that sold the best were the Santa Lucias, the little angels and, the hats.
I love those hats.
I don't know if there's gonna be more hats this week, cause that was,
I can make them.
the kids were like, yeah.
Oh, they're
it was-
so fun to make.
but I do believe you'll see more Santa Lucias.
I don't know what time I have.
I love your enthusiasm. You've got 2 more days.
Yeah.
I don't know what
before
time I
Today Show
have.
comes.
You're not making hats.
You have to focus on the Today Show and your posters and this and that and every, you know, and you're like, sure, I'll do it.
Since we're talking about ornaments, I just have a question, I don't know if that was the time, but for next year, can we start doing like an annual Christmas market ornament? Like, so that it becomes a collector's item every year?
We can used to do that, silver one.
That's great.
That's right, you did.
Yeah,
That was cool. That was, I mean, I think it's been like,
it's been since I started, I mean, I think his last year was the year I started at the visitor center, and that was like 12 years ago.
yeah, I've only seen them, I don't remember them ever being sold at the Christmas market. Same with the
Because we
posters,
stopped
but I know the
selling
posters are still a little
We can change
controversial.
Well, and I think posters in general are less, I mean, like, I'm way more inclined to buy a little ornament from places I travel to than I am a poster, because then I have to get it framed and I.
Well, and we could even do like a local contest to have people submit their designs and then you really make it like a Georgetown ornament, not just something we just found and manufactured.
Well, because I have a lot of manufacturers that will do custom name drop and all the different things, and I have one that does like they do it for so many towns though. There's one that does it, it's a gold ornament company. And I could run it through me and we could get my wholesale if I don't know if they'll do it, but,
We'll try, yeah.
but it's like I'll show you their stuff. But I don't know if it's, we did an Oakland, the ones who did an Oakland. And I don't know if it's too kitschy or not, we can do that, we can't make something, it would be beautiful. Ken Nelson's ornaments apparently sell really well.
Yeah, they do.
And then we could decide
They're
if the
silver.
money goes to PPC or to nonprofit thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it wouldn't be like one business specific.
Or does, yeah.
I like it, I like it.
It was a good market.
Anything else on Christmas market before I move to my next point? Alright, lovely. The third weekend, December 16th will be our Hops and Holly. I've been coordinating with Cabin Creek's marketing personnel and their team, so I've helped out with their planning, marketing, and I've been helping out at Christmas market push. Like I've already mentioned, Deborah and I will be coming back to do a local piece on our first ever brew festival. Cabin Creek will be selling the tickets, and because of that, all of the breweries are able to pour under one roof. We do have a few food vendors and a hydration station, included in the festivities, so it's your bestie who will be coming.
So
I
you
think
need
that's
your post workout IV.
Yeah, working out these guns.
No, we're not this way.
Yeah,
Other than that, the last thing I really wanted to bring up was our Christmas tree program. I've had some struggles, we all know, with the limited tree marking that has caused confusion, but for the most part, people are really open and receptive to this program. They really wanna understand fire mitigation, so having that 10 to 15 space, picking a tree that's in a cluster. I did have issues on Christmas market with people parking and where I wanted to be selling, but due to the weather, it also wasn't the most ideal. But I did have a few people use the QR code and get their trees instead of going up and cutting it themselves. We might even bring some more down this weekend, especially to get eyes on Christmas Alley. I'm gonna figure that out in my own thing. But I think the online form and online payment has been really helpful. So whether people are calling, emailing, or just wanting to know how to do it, it's right there for them at their convenience.
We're going up on Sunday, so keep some close to the entrance.
Okay.
Okay, so, have you seen the Christmas Gift?
The movie.
Okay,
It's at the visitor center.
all right,
I
so.
know, like, I'm getting promoted.
So what they did with the hotel was they covered up Hotel Paris by, making it look like a Christmas tree lot. And so there was a big banner that said Christmas trees, and they had them all lined up next to the building. There's that walkway that's 10 or 12 feet wide, and you could probably do 1 or 2 trees deep, leaving them right there, and have them right here.
We have been trying to figure out how to bring them to Sixth Street. And that charging station, I was
Because that walkway
walking
is
and
part of
running.
the parking lot.
It is, remember, we've got propane, we've got a lot of cords and tubes over there. I don't have any objection to that. Here's where we're gonna have an issue, is when people take the tree and they park down in the event parking lot, are they gonna stay until 5? How is she going to be able to articulate and execute them picking it up without them walking off the
Excel,
Christmas
they
tree?
can come over to the Excel station and drag it. If I can carry the trees out, they,
But then, you know, if we're crowded,
yeah.
you know, it looks so easy right now, but
Yeah, it's usually one slow weekend, one busy weekend, and last weekend was the slow weekend. But for Friday, if somebody can get up there and get a few trees and even put them in Strauss Park, you don't have to have a huge banner, but if you have a couple trees just leaning against something in Strauss Park, then it looks like Rockwell Bell.
And it's Strauss Park, it might be logistically
Yeah,
easier for them to pick it up because they can come down Fifth,
yeah, pick it up.
grab the tree, drag it down there. You could even put a sign on the bollards there by Winona Pass, by the brewery, and say, Christmas tree pickup only.
Mention the 4th grade piece.
Oh.
Or we can have them cutting trees.
Trees right in there.
Oh, I got the program.
I can do it.
Whereas it's available, so you know.
Oh, no.
The 4th grade history.
So if you're a 4th grader
Mm-hmm.
in
You
color
get a voucher to get a Christmas tree at a national forest, national park, something like that,
for free.
for free. I actually had somebody reach out on Instagram, she wants to bring her 4th grader out, so they're gonna come to Christmas market and then go collect their tree, so they're really gonna make it a family affair.
My recommendation is that we support that program, that statewide, nationwide, actually.
Mhm.
And if you have a 4th grader, you get a free tree. We're not charging that much anyway, and if we have 100 4th graders come during Christmas market or whatever else,
Yeah.
God bless them.
No,
They're probably spending money.
God bless everyone.
And the other part of that too is next year they're not gonna be 4th graders, but they're gonna have that memory, they
Yeah.
can easily ask, like, can we go get a tree again? Well, let me look into the program, and it could be a tradition, like, I'm really trying to make it into something, not just come and collect it and leave. Get an ornament from Shop International, come to our places, I want, my new project for next year is I'm gonna get all the businesses' logos, so then that way if I'm standing around, I can have a poster like, what do you wanna eat? Go to Cooper's, where do you wanna stay next time? Stay at Rose B&B, like, we have a lot of places and great businesses, and I wanna find more ways to include them, but also just having logos would be great for me to have, so.
The 4th grade program is not just limited to trees, it's national park access.
Okay.
The entire year that they're in 4th grade.
Yeah.
They get, and state park access.
Free entry, yeah.
They're interactive map, has all the businesses divided by what kind of business they are. Choose to fix it, make it better.
But what if I don't have a phone, or it dies?
It's just,
No, I'm
it's, we're well into the
My phone's always
21st
dead,
century.
so you
Or there's
Get a
no-
brick.
Or there's no Wi-Fi on Sunday because it's snowing.
Yes, that is it for me, unless there's any questions from the crowd.
Yes, excellent
Just
work.
a couple trees.
Okay, town administrator report. I have a feeling you and I are gonna overlap a little bit because, we need to talk about wayfinding and the Business Promotion Commission website. So do you wanna go ahead and go with it?
You can go, and then
Okay, so, wayfinding signage. You will all remember that we have an estimated quote, but it needs a deposit before 2024. Well, guess what? Time has passed quickly, and we are days away. So if we don't do it, then it just means we're gonna pay more money. It's not like the project won't happen, but if we do it, we'll save some money. Now, here's where it gets a little sticky. I have not found the time to go to, design review, commission for approval for the sign either. I don't have any expectation that it would be turned down because we're not really changing the design as much as we're changing the information. And so I think that it will be passed, but I have not done that. So I guess it comes down to, are we going to, make the decision today, which I think we need to consider, or are we going to put this off knowing that it's going to cost us a little bit more money? The trade-off would be taking some pressure off of ourselves. Now, having said that, this did not sneak up on us either. We've been talking about this for at least 6 months, so we knew this was coming.
I don't think there's a risk. I really did, but design review that,
I don't know either.
so,
They have a meeting next week.
I will go to that one. My pressure will be off. Just to be honest, it's been, more work related than family related this year. It's just been extremely difficult to try to keep up the pace.
If you don't go, I'll go.
So, okay, yeah, there's nothing really to prepare. The decisions have been made by this group. It just needs to be presented formally and voted on.
do you need a motion or did we already do this last?
I think we need a motion to put a down payment.
I moved.
I thought we already did that.
We
We
did?
voted a long time ago.
I thought we voted on that like in
Okay,
like
then,
August or something.
then-
Does that sound right?
Yeah, during budget time.
Let's do it in 2024 is the point, or 2023 is the point.
okay, so,
Yeah.
so go ahead, because, I'm gonna make the call this afternoon to have some signs to tell them what our decision was.
Yeah, we already.
So the decision is to go ahead and put the half down, 50% down, is what they asked. Okay, I'll get together with Mary Sims and we'll do that. Very good. Okay, that was easy. The next part is something that did sort of, surprise
Do you want me to take care of it?
me. Yeah,
Don't worry.
you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're
Okay,
talking about.
okay, let's go for it.
So me and Kyle have been trying to get on the same page for our website. It's just, he has two specific servers that we needed to get on board for. We had payment problems, my time has just been taken elsewhere, but I am trying to connect with Kyle probably next week. This week is a bit busy for me, but we're
It's
gonna
kind of
go.
getting paid at this point.
And that was brought up to treasurer about reimbursing him and getting him that invoice that was discussed.
He needs to submit an invoice. We don't
For
just pay
2023.
without an invoice.
No, for sure, but the guy needs to get paid.
And then we'll be taking over, so his servers and things that he's been using, it's roughly about $12. So it's not
Digital
too
Ocean and
Yeah.
the other
the other
one.
one, yeah, we use the same one.
Okay, wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, and we're happy with them.
My struggle is that the hang up was the conversation is, we just never connected after we set up our accounts, just because of the payment options. But I do struggle with the website updates sometimes, just because I'm not used to WordPress.org. I know we've talked about updating things and changing it around, but I wanna be clear about my limitations. I have been trying my best, but as we pointed out, like, Christmas market was getting lost at the bottom of the page, it wasn't really the forefront, like, I kept Googling and YouTubing on how to get a pop-up on there, so I think with my conversation with Kyle, we'll just kind of be like, can you show me the ropes better? Cause he has showed me the intro on how to like log in and edit the events calendar, but I think I need a little bit more. Their tutorials that are offered from the website are not compatible, they're in different languages sometimes, it's really funky, so I just wanna be clear about my limitations, but also what I'm doing to fix that.
We had trouble with that.
Yes,
Did I miss a memo or something
there's an email.
about,
Goldfinch is no longer going to,
like, they don't want to, or we don't want them to?
No, so my role, being when I got hired, was to take over the website, we just haven't taken over the hosting yet, it's not like he's been in the website editing, but he's paying
I don't
for
remember
it.
making that conscious decision as a group that we were gonna not contract out the website.
Well, that conversation took place over the last couple of years as we were building our events and marketing position, that was the goal. So,
here,
no,
here's
not
the-
since you've been on, but prior to that, and he's been supporting it.
Yeah.
But, you
So
know,
he's,
the focus
So
is,
here's an email from him. Hi, everyone. So this was to this group. Just want to make sure there's plenty of communication on this front regarding the website. The website will go down if no action is taken. As always, I'm here as a resource if need be. The simplest solution will be to enroll here. So become a paid client of his, which we're not paying. Once completed, we handle the rest. The option will take you about a minute. I was told that you're wanting to go a different direction, which would be Jess, which is also great. Just want to make sure you understand that if no action is taken, then the website will be lost. I know it represents a very large investment for the town, and I know everyone wants to avoid that. Thank you, and hope everyone is very, reputable.
It takes like 5 seconds to pay those people and to figure that out. That's not an issue. We had to circumvent, that his entire website structure when he stopped volunteering for us, and because it was so hard, we couldn't get in and make easy changes to our website, because we have Kyle doing it, it's fine, he's great. But so we might consider that, is keep this one maintained for now, and then if you can, maybe have you start rebuilding one in the background, and you can talk to Julian about what they are using.
This is, I've got a little bit of experience with this, and it's similar to Paul's, like, this is not just okay, well, it's Monday, so now we're in charge of the website. I mean, it's a big deal, and the potential for it to not go well is much greater than the potential for it to go well. Is there a performance issue with Bullfinch?
They just moved away. I mean, they don't live here anymore, and he's happy, I mean, and he hasn't been paid. And so I think if we can, and again, I know he needs to submit an invoice, I think he's happy to continue on in a low-level support, but I don't think that he's not doing as much web design work as he was, like, he has people's website too.
Okay,
And he basically has told me, like, from a Cooper standpoint, and it's probably about the same, like, I will happily make changes for you, and I will happily, like, keep hosting it, but it's going to wait eventually.
Yeah, and that's what he told me, because he did our website and coach.
Yeah, so I think he's not screwing us.
He's moved on to look.
Yeah.
No,
Just that simple.
Yeah, that's cool. I just worry about this thing.
the only thing that he's really been doing is just paying for the survey. It's not like we and him have been having conversations and show-tos, or like, besides like the first month I've been here, I haven't really heard or seen from him except for the emails.
But so
So it's not like we're using his services. He does a great job. I don't want to make it sound like we're saying that.
No, Kyle's
But-
great, and he did a really good job for a lot of us.
And
I
from
think-
what it sounds like, from what the website was to where it's at now is significantly better. But from how can we as a entity do better, I think it's gonna be work with Kyle, get this taken care of, and then slowly rebuild something else.
I move that we allocate the funds to pay for the servers, to pull the servers into our budget, while we work with our current web designer and our events coordinator to maintain the current website while building a website in the background.
So in other words, I would second that. So,
But the money is just the DigitalOcean portion.
For what it's worth, I find Wix to be very user-friendly.
I love Wix.
I love
That's where you'll
Wix
find
too.
my portfolio.
Yeah.
I don't think,
it's very
Wix is-
user friendly, but it doesn't.
it's not polished.
It's too basic. No, you're not wrong.
We
Yeah.
use it too, and I'm very unhappy with it.
I had Wix, was our first website, and I felt like it was a toddler.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
looks-
is. It's meant for people who aren't doing web work all the time,
Right.
which is cool, but
In the
is
short
that
term.
what we're
That's
after?
why it's user-friendly, because anybody can use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but is that what we're after?
No, we want something more polished. For me, this is also WordPress.org. This is not WordPress.com. Those are two separate ones, a little bit more user-friendly. This is for someone who knows how to code, who knows this language, because it is another language. And I took basic intro coding classes. It's not, it won't reach that level. So we will pay Kyle, we will take over our server, and then we will work in 2024 to get a new platform.
Okay, so how do we pay the server people? Because I know where this.
We've already signed up, that's just
I
a
know where this
conversation
is
for
going.
me and treasurer. Well, are you talking to the
Most of those
monthly
people want,
reoccurring
most of those
or?
people want a credit card that they,
That is true.
is that gonna happen? I know that's.
Well,
that's a
that's not a
conversation.
that's a conversation for me and Mary I have, so
No, I
whether,
want it to be before, but it's gotta be resolved before you make that decision. If we're gonna run into a roadblock paying by credit card and that's the only way they accept payment, then.
then that's the only
I
way.
mean,
Well,
I've
we're
heard
not,
this
we can't
from-
go down January 1. Bottom line, our website cannot go down January 1, so this has to be resolved in the next X
It's
amount
not
of
that
days.
much
something
money,
from
I'm sure
that.
my board would let me use a credit card, you guys just reimburse me.
No, because then we're getting into the same situation that we've had with Kyle all along. And I
What if I
apologize
use
for
my
jumping
card
down your throat.
as a town employee,
You get
that's
a town
still,
card.
I don't, but reoccurring, maybe I can look into seeing if we could do a 1 year, 'cause that is, we like the 1 year, one payment
Yeah,
and one
absolutely.
cent,
And then,
but we don't like the reoccurring.
but there's usually a monthly recurring along with it.
That's fine, I can work through that conversation, don't make another hurdle for me.
Well, let's do the first portion of it and then figure out how we're doing this.
I think we should stay with full finish to the first quarter while she builds this thing, because it's gonna be a disaster.
That's not the motion, there was a different style.
And this is discussion.
That's fine, shoot it down. Big motion.
So,
Let's vote on your motion.
Do we have a second?
Second, he already seconded,
Okay.
Craig already seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
aye,
Any opposed?
I'm sorry, that was an aye.
What's that?
I raised my hand late, but it was.
Okay,
Yeah.
Like you did not oppose.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I think we are now at the town administrator, those were the two things I needed to drop
Yeah,
you.
time to eat.
Real quick, but
I know.
real quick, just last one last thing. Is Voltage closing, shutting down?
No,
He just is,
he just wants to transition his,
So he's gonna
his
continue to
volunteer
do.
accounts into paid accounts.
Okay,
Yeah, which is,
but he's still gonna continue on.
he is a contractor, so he has his services, he has his business, I wanna respect that.
Yeah, I was just confused. It sounds like he was getting out of, websites altogether, or is he just?
holding back a little bit and focusing on some other things. I think they're partly family business.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, town administrator, sorry about that. Rick Kruglia, you're on, buddy.
No worries, and it's great that I'm later because I came from Rotary and I was already late, so.
And you're promoted the Today Show at Rotary, like I asked, right?
Yeah, we did, we talked about
Yeah,
it.
grand.
I guess just a couple highlights and then feel free to ask questions. I don't really have a lot today, but, I am grateful. We're in December and we're in a different field than we were, 6 months ago. I have Keisha. Keisha is our new assistant town administrator. And, it's exciting that we're fully staffed right now. And we're able to move forward in ways that we, have only longed and hoped for. CDOT, we had a great, meeting with them, and that was to kind of talk about the visitor center, and so Paul was part of that. And we're in the, we're past our negotiations now. I think they have agreed to increase the funding. So I think we've moved in a good place. This may take several months for us to sign the contract, but at least we're moving in a good direction where they're increasing their funding and they're gonna give an increment increase of inflation tied to that CPI. So that's a good thing. Christmas market, now I've experienced two of them. And I've seen some excitement and even despite the conditions, all our staff we had all hands on deck except for one. And this week we will have all hands on deck. And that will be to make sure that our bathrooms are clean and accommodated, because that one was difficult. Every time I went to go check, it looked terrible, and that's not excusable. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure that that's not gonna happen. I did spend time talking to people, and it was, not one person was negative. They were excited. I'm proud of Jess and what she's been doing. This is what we longed to see happen, just the coordination of these kind of things. Especially social media, I'm just blown away at how much response we've been getting. And I've tried to start reading the comments and I got tired.
I responded to them.
Yeah, and I
After
think you
350, I was like, I'm good.
However, I don't know if you guys know a difference. You have a Facebook kind of interaction and then you have an Instagram interaction. And Instagram people can be rude and jerks. And you can have the greatest looking thing and then someone will be like, that's a shithole kind of thing. And then you have Facebook and people are more, they're just nice and polite. And so.
It's the other way around.
I know.
Yeah,
Really?
it depends on the age group.
I guess it's.
I think so.
I've actually seen some of our Georgetown stuff on Instagram, and people are rude.
People are rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've not seen one rude comment for this Christmas market, and even the post that Jess put out. Yes, there were thousands of likes and shares, and it's exploded, and so it's exciting to see this for Georgetown. And kudos for the Today Show, I mean, that is a gift. That is a true Jonathan Denver gift of this. So, I'm just excited and proud of where we're at right now. Police issues, some of you guys are aware of that, and we're working through that right now. Mary's got hard decisions and things like that that she's having to think through. However, we're gonna make it through this. And so we're trying to do what's best for the town, best for our police department, and, we're gonna get through this. Right now, John Gaskins is acting marshal, and in order to do that, our other officers are right now on paid leave. And, we're thinking through these decisions right now. So we're not making hasty decisions by no means, nor are we gonna be swayed by public opinion, but we're gonna do what's best for Georgetown. So that's all I have to say about that.
From a marketing from a promotion, business promotions, my portion of it standpoint, please be very aware of the optics of this and what your decision is going to do to affect our businesses in the future. And pay attention, you're saying you're not listening to public opinion, but that's everything for business. And to the point that even during mountain jams, we had people stand up and make protest statements about things. So please be very, and I'm not saying what direction you need to go in. I have different feeling. It's a challenging decision, but be aware, please be very aware of the optics and how that's gonna affect our town.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
In whatever direction you go.
And in our executive sessions, we discuss all of this.
Thank you.
So, we don't
That's all
take
that
it.
had to be said.
Correct, I appreciate it. We don't take it lightly at all, and it is, we are prepared to do what's best for the town of Georgetown, so I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I think that those things have been consuming our staff lately. I'm just letting you know, we don't take it, we have taken the time to meet with all entities, to get feedback, to make sure that our board of selectmen are guided in our decisions.
So while we have positive national news, we have a lot of negative national news with records.
Yeah.
That have happened already.
Yeah, and if you guys have thoughts that you want to communicate offline, I'm willing to listen, but I'm letting you know, we're taking it seriously, and we have been consumed with it, and so it's probably taken a lot of my time.
It should.
Yeah. So anyways, thank you for all that. We're doing good, and so we're at the end now, we're doing budget season, we're actually done on it, we're just ready to adopt it, so we're kind of moving forward with that. We're gonna have a Christmas party, and you guys are gonna be welcome. I don't know the date we're looking at, what was it?
15th.
15th is what we're looking at. You'll get emails, but we're gonna invite all the boards, most likely at the community center. So that's just overall. There's a lot of other things, Excel and town hall renovation / rebuild. There's a lot of other little things behind the scenes. This next big project that we would like to work on is redoing our parking lots down by the lake. Craig's been involved in that. Excel is also going to be burying lines, right going through Bighorn Crossing and moving those poles that are right by the street that are like a foot away from the Argentine Street. So that's all coming. That's Argentine North. We're going to be having concrete sidewalks and lighting going down. It's going to be huge to bring both towns together. We want people to walk safely or run safely through that area and bike. I mean, on the other side will be a 10-foot bike path. However, that's not going to be all the way down. We just don't have the funds to do that at this point. Also, there's area to be developed still in that area, and so we don't want to hinder development by putting a sidewalk in and then having to tear all that out. So we're trying to plan what's best for that, but there's a lot coming, and so we're excited about it. But anyways, anybody got questions about specific things?
I don't see a budget conversation on here at all. Should I ask budget questions of Rick?
What kind of question?
Well, a couple. There was Mary's comment from earlier that there's a transfer from workforce housing that we can't actually spend, which doesn't make any sense. So what have we done? And then even with that transfer, it shows that we've got a deficit of $34,000 for 2024, so.
Were the conversations during our budget discussions that this was gonna be a thing and that we were looking at more revenue from the tax?
Well, that's my point, is there's a line for transfer from workforce and tourism of $15,000 that Mary says we can't spend. But even with that in the revenue portion, that brings our revenue to 138 and our expenses are 172.
We should get Mary back up here.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it now, I'm sure you guys are gonna adopt this anyway, but I'm just not sure, if we're not spending the 15 grand and we're 30 short, that's 48 that we're not actually gonna be able to spend, so what are we not spending?
True, but I think we addressed all of this during our budget meetings. And so like to rehash it seems.
I thought we were.
Because I thought we were gonna try to do it through the year, and then we were going, and through the year, we were making revenues that we thought we were gonna have to pull back on some of the projects that we were doing.
Okay, if that's where we're at.
That's what I remember.
Do you want Mary to come up?
I think that we should schedule a more appropriate budget discussion for the Jan. I mean, it's too late because this is already done and it is gonna get adopted.
Mhm.
But if we need to look at budget revisions and some of these conversations, I think we should schedule that for January.
I agree.
Because it is obviously really important that we have a plan for next year.
Craig, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
I just wanna make sure we give it the time and attention it needs, Craig.
Oh, absolutely.
Can we set a time that everybody shows up for, please?
Included it, let's include it
It's
in our
hard, it's
meeting.
real.
Yeah.
Because I don't wanna rehash stuff over and over and over again, when there are 2 or 3 of us that show up for a meeting that we all plan to be at.
Did I tell you I'm gonna bring a stuffed animal horse to meetings now, and it's feeding the dead horse? So I apologize that I didn't bring it to this meeting, but yes,
Okay, folks, let's be nice to each other.
So one last.
It wasn't meant to be nice, I do not want to come to a meeting with 3 people and then we beat the dead horse. I don't wanna do it. That is nice. It's saying, everybody respects everybody else's time. And that is being actually nice.
well, that's why I asked it, we're going to have that discussion, and truly, it belongs in the meeting. Let's have it,
Yeah.
when we're planning on being here, and then let's move on.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna move on right
I
now
have one
to.
last thing,
Yes.
sorry.
That's okay.
I just want you guys to know, lodging tax has been an issue. And, Jerry is now working to try to figure out next steps legally, what we can be doing, so he's involved. And our biggest issue still is with Airbnb. They are collecting the tax, they're not remitting the tax. And what we found is it's a problem, not just in Georgetown, but a lot of other communities are having the same problem.
It's gonna be highly
And
illegal.
so, say it again?
It's gonna be highly illegal,
It
right?
is.
Yeah, it is.
They're gonna have
Yeah,
so many
it is.
lawsuits by
That's nuts.
2025, like that's my prediction.
So
I'm
it
ready
is-
for it.
It is a huge issue right now.
Right?
We're trying to move forward with this, and there are other things that we may have to do, but, whether it be our business license or the ordinance, putting language in order to make sure that, our short-term rental owners understand that they are held responsible for paying this tax. And so, choose how you will, but if you're still held responsible, so when we're doing our updated renewals right now, we're trying to make sure that that is very clear to them, that they're still responsible for paying this tax. And I understand that that's a burden but it's still, they're aware of this. So I just want to give that's a very general, yeah, but we are moving forward with trying to deal with this.
It's good news, thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah.
Okay, season's out of season, but how about a fireworks discussion? Not the fireworks in this
I
room.
was gonna say, Paul, Paul and I started the fireworks.
I'm
We don't talk about it now.
I guess that's how we're passionate that I am. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
We are.
So you're all on the same page. That's all I'm trying to do.
Thank you though for watching.
Um,
Go, Jess.
gosh, where were we in our last conversation? So we are doing fireworks, we're looking for a better budget, we're connecting with Idaho Springs to see not only who they contact, what their budget is, but also like, just just to have a better hand in the cookie jar. I've also contacted Dylan and Frisco just to get their feedback, even though they don't necessarily have the same terrain as us with the mountains and all of that. They do a really nice show, and I'd love just to shop around for a better budget. I don't really have too much from our last conversation, nothing too concrete. I'm hoping to have more locked in. It's just with the holidays, some people were in and out of the office, things like that. What besides, budget, logistics, fire plan, the things we talked about last time, are there any new concerns that we want me to look into?
We talked about, reduced sound levels.
Oh, yes,
Quieter.
those were
quieter.
more expensive.
Oh, dang, okay.
It was very limited to who will do it within the country, and then since most of them are East Coast bound, they have travel fees, then they have the cost of the actual fireworks, so it is that.
Okay. Okay, that's good information. How about this? As part of the marketing of this, can we at least acknowledge that?
Absolutely.
I think, that if we just acknowledge that, pets and people with PTSD will be affected and just own it to show concern, that helps close the gap.
Well, and I was wondering, what if we did something like at the community center down at Strauss Park, so it's not as loud, but we can kind of get, maybe not Strauss Park. My goal was to get people inside to gather, but make an event out of it. If you're uncomfortable, you don't wanna be down by the lake, let's get you to have something here.
Something indoors then.
Something indoors, something small. I know the pets are gonna struggle with it. I mean, that's, that's.
They survive thunderstorms as far as I'm.
Just
Seriously,
I
I would worry about PTSD, but fireworks.
just extending it.
Absolutely,
That's all I'm asking.
a warning, you're welcome, and then,
We know you're there.
Yeah.
Acknowledgement. Okay.
This day is coming.
right, and then.
There was some
Do we hand out
down.
CBD dog treats for dogs?
I mean, so we were looking at sponsorship opportunities because we only have a budgeted about, $12,500 and they cost a little bit more than that.
Okay.
And that's the entire 4th of July budget.
Yeah.
So we're looking at, not just like a gift card from Cooper's, we wanna go big, get like Home Depot or somebody to like give us a good penny.
Yeah.
I don't know, we're looking into it, but then maybe they could also help sponsor that smaller event to keep people, acknowledged and welcome within our community and away from, because a lot of people do live by the lake that don't live in the waves.
Yeah. If we're gonna do fireworks in July, and we don't have the amount of money budgeted for it, we damn well better be talking about our budget at our next meeting.
Yes.
Reallocate some of our funds, or let's stop talking about fireworks on 4th of July for 2024. My little course,
100%.
and move on.
Mayor, can I
So
say
we can get our act
something
together
If we
on
do end
that.
up with
I just want to remind the board too, when we did a strategic planning retreat,
Fireworks.
it was the
number one.
number one, the thing that the board
Was it?
wanted to see happen. And so, that's a budgetary issue, our budget should reflect that. And so we may have to make some hard decisions on that.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that was the number one.
But bring in
It's
hard
important to
numbers
town.
for us, please, so that we can get on somebody's calendar and we know if we're gonna have them, because,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And you're only 7 months in then too. The other thing is, when we do allocate the funds, which we'll be doing probably, we need to have a discussion on whether it's on the lake or up in the mountain.
So that was, thank you, Paul, because
I agree.
one of the things that went in for you especially, for as long as we've been on this illustrious commission.
Say that nicely.
I know, right? I know, seriously, this horse is dead. This horse is way dead. We got so much grief about the location of the fireworks, even though it was not within the control of this commission. That the decision to pull fireworks away from the budget was made by the Board of Selectmen because people felt like it was a waste of money. They were like, you're spending all this money and it's not even on the mountain and it's ruined everything. But it was not within our control at that time to put them up on the mountain because they didn't have the manpower to do it.
Right.
And so it was, if those are conversations that we can have to make it that this is a worthy investment, and it's awesome, it was on the strategic plan, but the resounding messaging 5-6 years ago was that if we're not doing it on the mountain, then it's not worth doing it all. And that's why the Board of Selectmen, and I wanna be very clear, it was the Board of Selectmen at the time made the decision to kill fireworks.
I remember that.
Because they didn't have the manpower to get up on the pass.
Was it a few loud voices or was it a lot of little voices? Because the feedback I got the first year we did it at the lake, because I was actually shooting them.
Yeah.
Was overwhelmingly positive. People were like, that was so much fun, we were right, we could be up close to it, you know.
The reflection.
It was,
Maybe they were just being nice because I was the guy that did all the work, but
it was a very,
Let's bring back flashing at the same time as the fire.
Someone had a discussion about that to me already.
Well, but that, you know, and so let's remember, if we're bringing fireworks in, we're bringing them in at a professional level, and I'm not saying that you weren't
no.
in that. And that is opening up a totally different door that we need to discuss with our fire authority, because it's not the same.
Right.
And wherever the heck it goes, it isn't the same approach, and that's going to make a difference to our fire authority. And so that's why we have to make these hard calls tomorrow, next month.
January.
Yeah.
January meeting. But
So
because my memory.
let's invite Kelly, you know, let's get it all
You see
over
it
with.
from the whole town, you can't see the fireworks on the lake from the side of town.
But
You can't, yeah.
yeah,
But-
then
but we can
we don't
use
have
that.
people up there to keep the.
Yeah, but if we have a professional, which is
Out.
what we need to find out is what the realities of it are, what Idaho Springs is doing to get past fire code. They don't have a lake that they're running it on, you know, all that different stuff. So if we, never mind, I'm just getting dead horse again.
Well, and the benefit though too, if we do keep it by the lake, is we can advertise that we have a no sound area or a no display area downtown. So whether that helps the shops, whether it helps people who have auditory issues or just don't like fireworks, it does create that safe haven either way. And I think that does kind of give us a little allure to everyone else. So like, let's say your family wants to come, but the little kid hates the fireworks and the dad's not a big fan, but they can go to an El Paso and dad can have a beer and the kid cannot be by fireworks. It will give another layer to it, and we can spin it however we need
Yeah, we're also
it.
trying to keep people in the historic district.
Until a truck's, you know, brakes blow, and, you know.
Whatever, let's-
So it breaks the
Or
leg.
fireworks and all the
But
different.
that's a great point, Jess. We can argue it, no matter which decision we go, but we'll have the other side as alternatives.
Yeah,
I think people need to be grateful that if we're able to pull this off, I think everyone that needs to be grateful that there's fireworks.
Yes,
Because this has
that's
been 6 years of people giving this commission a really hard time. And again, I stress that it was the Board of Selectmen that had to make that decision, and they made it because of the fact that people.
Can you confirm too what day Idaho Springs is gonna have their fireworks? And I'm assuming it's gonna be 4th of
Yeah,
July. I know we
Thursday
talked a
before.
lot about that, but let's just make sure that we have that in our, you know.
Thursday the fourth.
Okay,
I can give you
okay,
that.
all right, that's fine. Well, good.
I can
Say.
give you $23,000
There you
as a solid number.
Okay,
And then I can also broaden my discussions when I've been talking to some of the fireworks or Sursa or people. I've only been talking about the lake, only because for me, the mountain might be the fire hurdle if we are in a fire ban. We weren't this past year, I don't wanna say we're.
Let's get an
doing it, but-
expert's opinion on that.
Yeah, I agree. Let's not
That's
say that.
not me.
Yeah, let's go ahead and try to get,
I'm not,
Yeah, no problem. I will not push my agenda.
please don't.
I mean, it may end up falling out once we.
The lake
I know what
is
an
back
expert
up.
says,
Lake is
because the
back.
lake is also closer to houses.
And event parking.
So you got all those different things, but.
All right, you should have in front of you, yourself,
And I feel like I should
last,
not vote on that.
month's, no, October's.
Oh.
Is this the right one?
Yeah, it's October.
Oh, that's,
A bunch of us are going.
okay, so October's, minutes, so can you review those, are there any, corrections?
I moved to approve the minutes from the October.
And a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Who
opposed?
seconded it?
Amanda.
Okay, well, folks, you have gotten through, I think.
We got here 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Just didn't want to be your fault.
So,
Push me all the
how do we adjourn? the meeting?
I moved
Someone
to
make-
There
adjourn.
we go. Second, okay, done.
time. I'd like to discuss that motion.
No.
All in favor, aye. Okay.